again, everyone. Chris Rieger here with Heyo, and it is time to get the party started. Again, it's Chris Rieger. I run operations here at Heyo. I'll be presenting today's webinar, which is focused on how you can build a 1,000-person email list, even in an industry that doesn't know about you yet. And I'm going to be teaching you some really cool strategies and giving you a lot of great tips. Really psyched to have all of you joining me today. So let's go ahead and get started. I am joined by the wonderful Christina Sullivan, our Director of Brand Strategy, and Christina is going to be handling questions that you might have in today's webinar. So, from time to time I'll say, hey guys, tell me in the GoToWebinar questions how many Facebook fans you have, or how big your email list, or what have you. This is what I mean when I say that. Right in your GoToWebinar control panel, this is where you can pop in a question. And by the way, for those of you who are not kind of have me on in the background, aren't really paying attention yet, maybe you're trying to get a few more emails finished, this is it. The webinar is starting. Go ahead and dive right in. We're really, really excited to have you. So please shut down your email, close the door to your office if you're in an office. If you're working from home, tell your family not to bother you. This is your time to invest in your marketing strategies and your marketing abilities, and don't let anyone rob this time from you. Make sure you stay focused. I think you're going to learn a lot. So please take a look at my screen. Okay, so this is how you say hello in GoToWebinar from time to time. And so Christina's going to be answering and fielding those questions for us. And she's also going to be recording this webinar for those of you that might have questions about some of the content later. I am going to move relatively quickly. So today's webinar is called The Quick Way to Build a 1,000-Person List in an Industry That Doesn't Know You Yet. That's me. I'm Christopher Rieger, the COO here at Heyo. That's my ugly mug. Now, for those of you who are joining us from New York City, I know there are a lot of you, this is a little picture that I took actually sitting on the fire escape of my building in Brooklyn back when I lived in New York myself, which, heck, wasn't that long ago. It's only been 2 years since I've moved away. Still love it. It's a tremendous place to live. So let's go ahead and dive right in. In the next 35 minutes, here's what my goal is to teach you. First of all, how to steal your competitor's list, which sounds very sinister, but I'm going to teach you how to do it in a totally open and honest way. I know that sounds very contradictory. You're just going to have to stick with me and see how that works. So you have 10,000 people on your email list, but no one is opening your emails. Why not? I'm going to teach you a strategy to make sure that you are thinking about email opens and email clicks and responses in the right way. And I think you're really, really going to enjoy that, especially those of you who are just getting into a new industry and are just starting to build your list. Also, I'm going to show you the one button you can push to actually double your email list, just like gravity makes an apple fall to the ground. Plus, you might win a prize at the end, and we've also got live Q&A. I always make sure I spend a lot of time at the end on Q&A for those of you that do have questions. So this is who I am. I'm Chris, as I mentioned, Chief of Operations here at Heyo. We've been around now for the last 5 years, focused on helping businesses build their email list, in particular through social media. We've had the opportunity to speak at some pretty cool venues. You can see some of those snapshots right here in the middle of my slide. Hopefully all of you are looking at this slide. If not, you're not going to get much out of this webinar, because I'm going to be showing you a lot of tips and strategies today. And then also we've had the opportunity to be featured in some really great publications like All Facebook, Yahoo Finance, and even the Wall Street Journal. And most recently, our newest sort of endeavor, if you will, we just launched a podcast called The Top. It's hosted by our CEO, Nathan Lotka, and it has already been rated as the #1 podcast for entrepreneurs by Inc. magazine, which has been a tremendous honor. We are on pace to have 1 million downloads of the podcast by the end of November, which is just amazing. We're really, really excited about that. So if you're interested in learning more great marketing strategies and hearing from other smart marketers and entrepreneurs about how they market their business, how they build their email list, how they generate more sales, just Google The Top on iTunes or online. You can Google The Top Lotka, L-A-T-K-A. That's Nathan, our CEO's last name, if you're interested in checking that out. That's who we are. Now, I would love to know a little bit more about you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and launch a quick poll here. I'd love to know, who are you? If you could check out your screen and let me know, I'd love it if you could select one of the following. Are you an entrepreneur, a small business generating $250,000 or more in revenue? Are you an agency working with a lot of clients, or a consultant that maybe is working with a few clients and doing about $100,000 or more in revenue annually? We're at about 25% of you that have voted so far. I'm going to share these results with all of you here on the webinar, so I'm going to wait until this gets up to at least 70%. So make sure you're looking at my screen right now, and please go ahead and pick an option on the poll and submit it. We're up to 45% of you now that have voted. Keep going, folks. Keep going. I can't move on until you vote. We're up over 55%. Oh, we're so close. Susan, did you vote yet? Taft, did you vote? Anne Marie, did you vote yet? We're at 60%. Oh man, we're so close. Oh, now we're flying. All right, let's go ahead and close the poll, and I'm going to share those results with you. Okay, so here's who we've got on the webinar today. I think it's always interesting for you guys to learn a little bit about the group. 47% of you, the largest amount of you, would consider yourself an entrepreneur. You're probably running your own business. You're generating more than $100,000 a year in revenue. Very, very cool. 31% of you, very similarly, would call yourselves a small business. Maybe you're a bricks and mortar restaurant or spa or hair salon. 31% of you, just about a third of you, are in that category. Then 19% of you are a consultant, doing over 100,000 million. 100,000 million. Well, that's a lot of money. If you're doing that kind of revenue, I don't know why you're on this podcast, on this webinar. 19% of you are a consultant doing $100,000 or more of revenue a year. Only 2% of us are an agency, and we've got actually hundreds of people live on the webinar right now just to give you guys a feel for the size of the population. So that's who you guys are. Awesome. Always great to learn a little bit more about you. So let's dive right back in. We have a contest running throughout this webinar, and here's how it works. I hope that as you're listening, you're taking notes on some of these strategies. Tweet your notes to me using hashtag HEYONotes, hashtag HEYO notes on Twitter. And at the end of the webinar, I'm going to check out all the notes that you guys have posted on Twitter. And the more creative, the better. And I'm going to pick a winner. Maybe I'll make Christina pick the winner. She's much more impartial than I am. And she's a designer. She's got a great eye for design. And she's got a great aesthetic, a design aesthetic. So I'm going to have Christina choose from all of you who've submitted your notes through hashtag HEYONotes during the webinar. And the winner is going to win a free Heyo t-shirt. And they are very, very cool. In lots of colors. Maybe you'll even get to pick your color. So hashtag HEYONotes. The more creative, the better. We can see this old picture here of somebody's dog on their desk, highlighted notes, digital notes, the whole shot of the desk, the setup. So we love that kind of stuff. Feel free to let us know. Now, as we get started, I am really big on learning principles. You know, I feel like you teaching me a piece of data is nice, but if you teach me a principle, I can apply over and over again in my life, in business, or in general. I'm really, really happy about that. So here's a little parable. Check out my screen. I want to introduce you to two people. This is a story from my personal history. These are my old friends, Jake and Paul. And I went to high school with these guys. So take a look at my screen. You'll see Jake and Paul. Okay, they're both pretty cool guys. Jake looks particularly cool in this little selfie he did with this sunset in the background. Anyway, these are my friends from high school. And you know, both of them in high school had one goal, which was to date a pretty girl. They wanted to date a pretty girl. So they both had that goal, and so here's what Jake did with that goal. He really didn't do anything with it. In fact, he had this one girl he really liked, and his whole strategy, all he did was just hold on to that goal and just ask her out over and over and over again. That's all he did. And usually she'd say, look, I'm just not interested. I just think of you as a friend. Sometimes she'd be like, no, I'm dating somebody else right now. Sometimes she'd be like, look, Jake, I just don't like you, okay? And at the end of the day, Jake didn't end up with a girlfriend, and that was it. That was Jake. Now let me tell you a little bit about Paul. Paul had the exact same goal. He wanted to find a pretty girl, and so what Paul did was he kind of stepped back and thought, okay, how can I make this work? And he had a strategy. He decided, I'm going to figure out where do girls like to congregate? Where do they like to hang out? And I'm just going to go there. I'm just going to put myself where the girls are. And then once he was there, he had the strategy of, he would, pick a girl he liked that he was friendly with. He'd go talk to her. He'd ask her out. And he would actually force himself to do that. And if she said no, he'd then, find another girl he liked who was there. He'd go talk to her, and he'd systematically go through and talk to all these girls. So guess what? How did things go for Paul? What do you think? Paul also didn't end up with a girlfriend, but that's okay. So here's the difference, though, right? Jake just had a goal. Paul took his goal, and he built a system around it. he kind of operationalized the goal, and even though he ended up with the same outcome as Jake, during the course of that, going through that system, what happened for Paul? Well, he talked to a lot of girls, so he got much more comfortable talking to girls. He improved his interpersonal skills because he was talking all the time. He learned, he got more comfortable in the places where some of these girls he liked to hang out. Basically, he learned. He gained some valuable skills. Now, this is a great parable for us as marketers. When you learn a system, don't just have a goal. Build a system around your goal. Don't just say, this morning I'm going to get up and my goal is to get 1,000 new email leads. Say, okay, this morning my goal is 1,000 new email leads, and here are the 3 things I'm going to do today to get those leads. Whether they work or not, you will learn and you will get better at more practical applications of your business and your marketing strategies, and that is what I want to teach you today. So today I'm going to teach you 2 systems. I'm also going to teach you a very, very cool tip. But system number 1 is how to steal your competitor's list in a completely open and honest way. Here's how to do it. So please follow along on my screen. Step 1 of this system is to target bloggers who've written about your competitors. And there are lots of ways to do this. But basically, you want to find what blogs or what websites are linking to your competitors. And I'm going to show you a cool way to do this. There are lots of tools you can use to actually do this. I'm going to show you one that I'm familiar with. So check out my screen. I'm going to do a little demo here for you. Now, this is not our tool. These are all independent third-party things that just hopefully you find helpful. Moz.com is a very cool site full of SEO tools, and they have a tool called Open Site Explorer. Okay, this is where I am. Okay, Open Site Explorer. So all I'm going to do is go to this URL. Now, again, watch my screen to kind of see what I do. And let's say that you're competing with socialmediaexaminer.com. Okay, they're a pretty popular blog in the social media space. I'm going to go ahead and click search and see what happens. Okay, so here is what Open Site Explorer does for me. They tell me some stuff about this domain, which includes things like the domain authority. So the higher this is on a scale of 1 to 100, the stronger that domain is. But if I scroll down, what's particularly cool is it actually shows me the inbound links to socialmediaexaminer.com. So if Social Media Examiner is my competitor, whatever business you're in, this is telling you, okay, here are the websites and blogs that are writing about your competitor. So I can see, for instance, Social Media Examiner, feedburner.com, hubspot.com, copyblogger.com. So there are lots and lots of lots of information here about who is linking to my competitor. Okay, so that is step 1. Figure out who is writing about your competitor. Now let me show you. If you look at my screen, here are 6 other tools you can use to do exactly that. Just check out this slide real quick. Alexa, SimilarWeb is another really good one. LinkedIn Pulse is good. BuzzSumo is a great tool for pulling up an article and see who's sharing it. So these are all great tools for figuring out who is linking to and who is writing about my competitors. This is a great one to screenshot. Okay? And again, I like Open Site Explorer, but at the end of the day, find the tool. Now, let's grab one of these from the example. Let's try this Copyblogger link. Okay, let's go to Copyblogger. So here's the blog that's writing about my competitor. Okay, read the blog. Cool. So let's go, and now let's check out what is step 2 of our system. Remember, step 1, target bloggers who've written about your competitors. Here are the tools you can use to do that. Step 2, get their email. Get the email address for that blog or for that blogger to figure out, to communicate with them. So how do I do that? There are a couple of different ways that you can approach getting their email. First of all, try Twitter. Twitter is a great tool for doing this. Find them on Twitter, shoot them a quick tweet that says something like, at Mel Thompson 88, have an idea to run by you. What's the best email to send a screenshot to? It's Twitter. It's only 140 characters max anyway. This should be extremely short and sweet. Have an idea I think you'd like. What's the best way to share it? My success rate on Twitter with this kind of an approach is very high. So one idea for getting their email is just going to Twitter. Another idea, just go straight to their website contact form. Everybody's got one. If I go here to Copyblogger, I've got a little contact link right at the top. Let's just see where that takes me. Oh, look. I can subscribe to blog updates. That might be a good way to get their email. Oh, here we go. Need something else. Boom. Fill out this form and say hello. Ask a similar question in the form. Got a great idea I'd love to share with Copyblogger. Who can I reach out to? So get their email through the contact form. Another great trick is that if you can't find their email address, if they're not responding on Twitter, and you can't get their email address from a contact form on their blog, maybe they don't respond, or maybe you can't find one for some reason, go to their terms of service or privacy policy. They almost always have an email address in one of those links. Got questions about our privacy policy? Email us here. It's a great, great tool to do that. Now, let me show you one other great thing. If all else fails, this is a great last resort. You can go to mailtester.com. Check this out on my screen. Mailtester.com. You can try to guess their address. So, for instance, if you're trying to reach out to someone at Amazon.com, maybe even Jeff Bezos at Amazon.com, he's the founder of Amazon, by the way. You can guess, maybe he's Jeff at Amazon.com. Click check address. This is totally free to use. Mailtester.com will actually tell you if this email address is good or not, if it will get through to someone or not. Pretty great tool. Tell me right now in the GoToWebinar questions, everyone, give me a big yes with an exclamation point if you're finding this system helpful for capturing. We're not through with it yet. I just want to take a pulse from you guys on how to actually get the email addresses of your competitors. Okay, lots and lots of yeses. Fantastic. Andy, Kylie, Brian, Kate, Macarena, Alejandro, Nina, Alpana. Okay, McKay says, interesting. Mike, good stuff. Okay, awesome. Great. Well, we're going to keep going. So remember, on this system, step one, figure out who's linking to your competitor's site and get their email address. Okay, because right now they're sending their people to your competitor. We want to cut them off. We want to cut that flow off. Okay, so here's some tools I use again for getting the email address of these bloggers. Mailtester.com is good for last report. Sidekick, LinkedIn, All My Tweets, Snapper, Jigsaw. All My Tweets is a personal favorite of mine. I think it's allmytweets.net, but you can Google All My Tweets, you'll find it. It's totally free to use. A lot of people tweet their email address, or they have at some point in the past. So this will actually give you a searchable list of tweets from a particular Twitter account. I just search the word email. Probably 8 times out of 10 I find their email address that way. It's a great, great strategy, great tactic. Okay. Okay, Steven says, I'm a little worried this isn't legal in Canada. Have to comply with CASL. There is nothing illegal about this, Steven. There's nothing at all illegal about this. These are all perfectly legal tools. This is, finding someone's email address. That's just pretty. I'm giving you normal ways to do that. Talk to them on Twitter. You can, pop a note into the contact form on their website. This is all like very, very typical stuff. So I wouldn't worry too much about that, Stephen. Okay, cool. So these are the tools I use to actually get their email address. Now, step 3. Give them the knock-knock pitch. Now, we're going to dissect the knock-knock pitch in the next system. So I'm not going to go too deep into why it's called the knock-knock pitch, but just trust me on this one. So here's what step 3 looks like. Here's how I do it. Okay, you want to pick a really simple subject line that works. So you've now figured out in step 1 who is writing about your competitor. In step 2, you've gotten that person's email address. Now you're going to email that person because you're going to want them to publish your content instead of your competitors. Okay? So you're going to email that person with a very simple subject line, something like an idea, follow-up from Twitter, a quick question. Don't give it a complicated subject line like, note to see if I can write a blog post for you, or something like that. You want to just pique their curiosity. The goal of the subject line is to get them to open that email. Content should be a couple of sentences, very straightforward. Hey, Melissa, I saw this article. Drop in a link. Saw it did super well. Do you think your audience might also like content along the lines of top 10 Facebook campaigns that converted 30%? That's it. Let me know. Thanks, Chris. Always end your email with a question. Would this work for your subscribers? Would your readers find this interesting? Can we chat more about this? Whatever it is that you're trying to get them to do, be very, very specific there in that knock-knock pitch. Okay? When she writes back, Then you want to ask her, want me to take a stab at writing an article for your blog with this data? Link them to either some stats that you have or maybe a draft of the article that you want them to publish. But the whole goal of this strategy is to find out who's linking to your competitors, who's writing about your competitors, and is right now sending traffic their way, and get them to write about you instead. That is the goal of this. I've been able to pull this off quite successfully here at Heyo and other companies that I've worked with, and I would highly, highly recommend you give this a shot. Step 1, use those tools to figure out who's linking to your competitors, who's writing about them. Step 2, use those tools and those tips to actually get their email address. Step 3, give them the knock-knock pitch. That's the first system. How to steal your competitors' list. Do you guys see how you could actually get leads that are right now flowing to your competitors' websites, but to do it in a very ethical way? You're not like going and like stealing their data. No, you're actually pitching the same people that are writing about them to write about you. That's how this works. That is exactly how this works. Okay, very cool. So now let's get on to system number 2. Now you've got the list, but no one is opening your emails. What do I do about this? This is not good, right? This is why we have an email list. So actually, before we get into this, I want to give you guys a thought that there is an inflection point happening right now in late October of 2015. There is an inflection point with email marketing. And here's what it looks like. The key metric from this point forward, the metric you should be caring about as it relates to email marketing is response rate. That is the key metric for the future of email marketing. Not opt-in rate, or excuse me, not open rate, not click rate. You need people to open your emails. If you're sending them a link, you want them to click it, but what really matters is response rate. I'll tell you why. Anyone can send pretty HTML email right now. Okay, anyone can send that. What's really, and everybody's email, I mean, we all know this, right? Our inboxes are full of spam. Our inboxes are full of businesses and marketers that maybe we even follow that send us lots of HTML email. What's going to be different for people going forward are brands that actually engage with them, actually send them a plain text email and talk to them. That is what this system is about. If no one is opening your emails, this is a strategy for ensuring probably the highest potential open rate you'll ever get on a business or on a commercial email. McKay asks a great question. What is response rate? McKay, that's the percentage of people you've sent an email to that write you back, that click respond on that email and write you back. That's response rate. So let's talk about this. Strategy. First of all, you want to tell them exactly what you want them to do. Now, I need a little bit of help. I need a volunteer for this system, for this second system. Okay, and this is going to be fun, I promise. So let me see if I can say hello. I talked to a bunch of people when I first got on, and one of them was Susan. Let me see if I can say hi to Susan again. Now, Susan, I know you're in an office. This might not work, but I'm going to unmute you one more time. Susan, it's Chris. I've unmuted you. Are you still there?
I am.
Okay, cool. All right, Susan, you know what a knock-knock joke is, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. Can you do a little knock-knock joke with me live on the webinar right now?
Sure.
Okay, cool. So here, I'll of course start. Okay, Susan, knock-knock.
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Little old lady who?
Oh, Susan, I didn't know you could yodel. Okay, yeah, I know that's really corny, but here's how this works. Now, can you stay live with me for like 2 minutes, Susan?
Yes.
All right. Here's why that knock-knock joke is important for this system. Because step 1 is your subject line. This is the first place that someone will engage with your email. It helps to think about the subject line. That's knock-knock. You want them to respond and say who's there, but that's knock-knock, right? Like if they're not compelled by the subject line to actually engage, then you're not going to get very far, right? So knock-knock is the subject line. So then step 2, right? Who's there is them opening the email. So you put in your subject line. The goal of that subject line is just to get them to open the email. If they click to open it, they're saying, okay, who's there? Step 3 is the copy in your email. The content of your email, that's little old lady, right? That's the sort of the meat of the knock-knock joke. They're going to read that copy, and if they're intrigued by little old lady, what are they going to say, Susan?
Little old lady whom?
Little old lady who, exactly. That is basically them engaging with your email, them clicking the link that you present, the offer you present them with. Maybe it's responding to your email, which I think is, again, I think that's the future of email marketing. But it helps to think about that. Does that make sense at all, Susan?
Yeah, it does.
Cool. I think the reason I present it this way is that I think a lot of really smart marketers get lost in trying to over-communicate the email in every specific way. And I think it really helps to kind of break it down and think, what's the only goal of the subject line, right? The only goal of the subject line is to get them to open your email. Don't worry about telling them everything about the offer. Don't worry about telling them, every little detail of what you're going to communicate. It should be very simple, and it needs to be in line with the content of your email, but it could be as simple as, I thought you'd like this. It could be as simple as a quick suggestion. I find that short 2 or 3 word subject lines work a lot better than a more complicated subject line that's obviously very commercial. What do you think about that, Susan?
I'm about to live tweet it. I think it's a good tip. I wonder if I over-communicated my subject lines. And the reason I was doing it was because I thought it was quicker because people just scan their email. So maybe I'm going to try doing subject lines that read that way.
Yeah, again, I'll go back to my friends Paul and Jake, right? Paul really, he picked the system and he went and he worked through that system. You'll see if it works for you. Even if it doesn't, you're still winning by doing something, right? By trying something. You're going to learn, and you're going to figure out how to tweak it to make it better next time. So I think that's really wise. Cool. Susan, thanks for letting me pull you live again. You're a good sport.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, so that is how to think about this email. Remember, if you're boring, they won't click. You need to figure out how to be compelling from your subject line all the way through to your copy. You want to provoke curiosity. You want to create a sense of urgency. You also want to do what you can to drive scarcity. These are some other tips for making those emails more compelling. Okay. Hopefully you guys are with me and still looking at my slides. Okay, so that is basically the end. So the system 1 was how to steal your competitors' emails in a totally ethical way by figuring out who's writing about them, who's linking to their website, and you reaching out and communicating to those people to get them to write about you instead. And I broke down a very simple system for how you can execute on that and shared some tools that will be helpful. System number 2 is how to actually send an email that's optimized to get people to open that email and respond. And I broke down each component of the email. I like thinking about it like a knock-knock joke. I think it works really well. Okay, and with that, we're going to move on to the last, sort of the third component of this webinar, which is pushing one button to double your list. Sounds easy, right? To double your list, again, with no ad spend. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what that button is yet. I want to show you some examples first. Okay, so let's take a look. First, I want to show you this campaign. This is a photo contest that was run by a company called One Man. This was the best dad shot. We've got this very hipster-looking dad with this very cute son here in the picture, and it was to submit a photo of you with your son, of you as a dad, for a chance to win. Okay, so here's their campaign. Here's the mobile version of their campaign. Here's their campaign. Hopefully, you're looking at my screen. Here's the mobile version of their campaign. I want to show you this real quick. They had some great sharing features built into this photo contest. Check out the Twitter activity they got. Check that out. Hopefully you're watching my screen right now. Very cool. Okay, here is Amy with Mixed Bag Designs. She ran a giveaway campaign. Here's her campaign. Here's the mobile version of her campaign. Mobile responsive. Here's how her campaign performed. 1,800 people saw it. 582 of them entered their email address. She converted 30% of her visitors to an email lead with this campaign. Again, here's the campaign on web and on mobile. Here's what Amy said about the campaign. I want to let you guys just take a look at this slide real quick while I get a quick drink of water. Pretty cool, huh? Here's King Tut's Wawa Hut. Funny name, serious business. Here's their giveaway campaign. Here's their giveaway campaign on mobile. Okay, cool. Here's their success. 4,600 people saw the campaign. Almost 2,700 of them entered their email address. They converted 57% of their campaign viewers to email leads. Now, I'm going to ask you, in the GoToWebinar questions, tell me, what do you think is the secret to them getting all of these leads? What is the one thing they could do, the one button they could click to get all of those leads? Tell me in the GoToWebinar questions. Okay, Anne Marie has weighed in, Leanne, Jocelyn, Simon, Kylie. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, most of you are right. Leanne says mobile. Jocelyn, mobile responsiveness. Joseph, mobile. Mary, mobile. Okay, cool. That is exactly right. Here's a stat for you guys. In my experience, in our experience here at HEYO, depending on the business, 40 to 80% of your new email leads will come from mobile. 40 to 80%. That means at least 40%, nearly half, of your email leads will come from mobile, possibly as high as 80. The average, of course, is around 60%. That means if you're not running campaigns that are mobile responsive like this one from King Tut's Wawa Hut, then you're losing half your leads. The way to double the leads you're getting to your list is to make sure that every campaign you run is mobile responsive. Every campaign you run is mobile responsive. Now, would you guys like me to show you how you can do this, again, by simply clicking a button? Would you like me to show you how to make a campaign mobile responsive just by clicking a button? If so, just type in yes in the GoToWebinar questions. And if I don't get enough yeses, I'm just going to move right on. Don't want to waste your time. Murray says, who's running King Tut's? I don't know, Murray. It's a great question. All right, I'm getting a ton of yeses. I want to show you guys real quick. Hopefully you can see my screen here. There you go. I'm getting a whole bunch of yeses, so let's go ahead and I'll show you real quick what it means to actually, whoops, there we go, perfect. What button you can click to actually make your campaigns mobile responsive. Now, I need a volunteer for this as well. So in the GoToWebinar questions, please let me know your own business website URL. I'm going to see if I can grab one right here on the spot. And I'm actually going to build a quick campaign and show you how to make it mobile responsive with one click. But I want to use one of your, it's only going to take me about 5 minutes. I want to use one of your websites to do it. So please, I'm going to take a second and maybe you can just show me one of those websites. That would be awesome. And I'm taking a look right now. Wow, lots of really cool businesses on the webinar today, obviously. Okay, I'm going to grab, let's see, this one. One of the first ones submitted was from Nina. I'm going to see if I can get Nina live real quick just to say hello as I build this. And I don't know if she's got her microphone connected. But I'm going to see if I can say hello. Hi, Nina, this is Chris. Are you there?
Hi, Chris. I am here, I believe.
Yes, you are. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful webinar.
Oh, no problem. No problem. So grateful that you joined me. So tell me, tell us a little bit about Perfect Reject. This looks really cute.
It's a product line that has a very strong message. It's about celebrating difference and so like be the extra and extraordinary. And I make these one-of-a-kind plush dolls, and I have books and things. But the goal is to sell these one-of-a-kind plush dolls. And soon they will be manufactured. But right now I just have one-of-a-kind. Each one is numbered and signed.
And you make them by hand.
Yes.
So cute. And what a great message. I love the idea of celebrating diversity and differences. That's very, very cool. So is it okay if I use your business as my test case here for this campaign?
Go ahead. Thank you.
All right, cool. You got it. Now, is it okay if I keep you live? You don't have to say anything, but it'd be nice to just be able to have you live while I make the campaign. Is that all right?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, everybody. So let's use this this cool business of Nina's Perfect Reject as the example. She makes these really cute plush toys. I'm going to just set up a cute giveaway. So I'm here within the HEO dashboard. I'm going to click Create a Campaign. Let's call it Fall Giveaway. Save and continue that. For this example, I'm going to click on Contest Templates, and I'm going to use the Sweepstakes template to put together a very simple sweepstakes, sometimes called a giveaway. I'm going to hit Save and start editing. Now check this out, Nina. I'm going to just go over here. I see you've got your logo on your website. I'm going to right-click that, copy the image URL, and then right here within HEO, basically I'm going to click the widget, go over here and paste that URL in, and there it is. Isn't that easy?
Amazingly easy. Yeah.
Okay, same thing. I like this really cute Tigger doll. I'm going to copy the image URL for that. This is the picture where I want to talk about the prize or the incentive I'm going to give away. So I'm going to just paste in that cute Tigger doll. And then right underneath that, in this little text area, I'm going to say something like, enter your email address to win this one-of-a-kind plush Tigger doll. Now, how much does this normally cost on the website?
That one is $150. It's rather large.
That's very cool. A $150 value. Awesome. And I can...
$250.
Oh, $250. Wow. Okay, yeah. Cool. That's even better value. Okay, a $250 value. So you can make
2.5 feet high.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I can make that bigger. I can kind of brighten it up. Maybe I'll use this like nice blue. Okay, very cool. So basically, that's where I can just talk about my prize. Now, I've got this cool countdown timer here to create urgency. I've got an email lead capture form. This is where people are going to be able to actually enter the contest, and I can actually connect it to a number of different email marketing platforms. Now, for those of you who are with me on the webinar, tell me in the GoToWebinar questions right now, what email marketing company do you guys use? What email marketing company do you guys use? Do you use MailChimp, Constant Contact, MadMimi, Infusionsoft? By the way, Nina, Carolina, who's on the webinar with us, she says, I kind of wish this was a real giveaway because I really want that Tigger doll. Okay, lots of, MadMimi, MailChimp, Aweber, Constant Contact. Kimberly says she doesn't have one yet. That's no problem, Kimberly. MailChimp all the way, baby, says Tanya. Okay, cool. So lots of MailChimp. BombBomb.com, I've heard of BombBomb, Jeremy. Aweber, Infusionsoft, Entreport, AK uses Entreport. Okay, very cool. So most of those you can connect with right here within HEO, but that's always a smart thing to do. Now also I've got some really smart sharing features here, and I can basically go here, and let's see, you probably have a Facebook page, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, there it is. Cool. 700 fans. I'm going to grab your Facebook page URL. I'm going to paste it right here on the Facebook page to like. And I can also customize this text to say, enter to win this $250 plush Tigger doll. It's one of a kind. Save changes. All right. You know what? That took me like maybe 3 or 4 minutes. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? I mean, I'm sure we could really clean this up and spruce it up a little bit more. But what do you think so far, Nina, for just like 4 minutes work?
It's great. It's wonderful.
Awesome. Okay, so now it's time. Everybody, hopefully you're watching my screen. I'm going to actually show you the one button you can push to double the number of email leads you get. And the way you do that is by making sure you have a mobile component, a highly mobile responsive component to the campaign. So here I am, I'm previewing the campaign, Nina. I can kind of check out these share features, see how they work. That's the Facebook share and how it sets up. Same thing with the tweet. I could click to tweet. Cool. And now, you ready for me clicking this button, Nina?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm going to have you count down. Can you count down from 3, 2, 1 for me?
3, 2, 1, blast off.
Blast off. Check out the pre-designed, pre-built mobile version of your campaign. As I said, we found at HEYO that no matter who you are, at least 40% of your new email leads will come through mobile, and as high as 80%, depending on the business. The younger your audience is, the higher the percentage will be that comes from mobile. Even if you think, oh man, you know, and I know because I'm going to tell you, we've researched it. Even if you're thinking, well, my audience, none of them are using mobile. At least 40% of them your leads will be coming from mobile. So this is pretty cool, huh, Nina? Like, you didn't even have to pay a developer for this. You just click that button and there it is. Boom.
Amazingly easy. I'm impressed.
Cool. Well, I am thrilled. Thank you so much for letting me use Perfect Reject. It looks like a really cool business, and thanks again for joining me for the webinar.
Thank you.
You are very, very welcome. All right, so hopefully that was helpful for you guys. You know, like I said, making sure your campaign is mobile responsive, just like this, is super, super important to make sure that you are actually doubling the number of email leads you get. If it's not mobile responsive, you'll get email leads. You'll just get half as many as you could with mobile. And right here within HEYO, all you got to do is, boom, make sure Publish to Mobile is checked, click Publish, and you are good to go. All right, cool. That was pretty quick, right, guys? And hopefully that was super, super helpful. So here's what we've learned so far. How to steal your competitors' list in a totally open and honest way. I showed you a system for how to do that. How to make sure people are actually opening your emails. If you've got 10,000 people on your list but no one's opening your emails, then what good are those 10,000 email leads? I showed you a system for doing that. I showed you the one button you can click that will actually double your email list, the number of email leads that you're getting, just like gravity. Showed you that. And actually, you guys wanted to see me show you the system for how to do that. And even though I went through it pretty quickly, I showed you the system for how to easily create a campaign and publish it. And remember, a goal is nothing without a system. You got to have systems behind your goals to make sure that they actually are achieved. Okay, awesome. So with that, tell me in the GoToWebinar questions, maybe just one last thing. Yes or no, have you learned at least 2 new things from this webinar today? Tell me in the GoToWebinar questions. Yes or no, have you learned at least 2 new things? I'll give you guys just a moment to respond. Cool. Seeing a lot of great responses. Awesome. Great, great responses. Wow. Yes, 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 absolutely. Absolutely, definitely. Murray says, yeah, a couple. Okay, good. Murray, I'll take a couple. Julie says at least 2, lots more than that. Awesome. This is really, really cool. Very, very cool. Okay, so for all of you who have joined the webinar today, would you like to learn about HEYO pricing? HEYO is the system that I used to show you how to easily create a giveaway and then click a button to make it mobile. Would you like me to share you? That is our platform. Would you like me to share HEYO pricing with you? Obviously, you're not committed to anything. And if you say no, or if you just ignore this, then I'll move on. But comment buy, type buy in the GoToWebinar questions if you'd like me to share HEYO pricing with you. And in particular, I've actually got some very cool bonuses for you guys today because you joined the webinar. So I'm going to let you see. Oh, man. Cool. I always like showing you because I don't expect you guys to just like, believe me, at face value. Get that. Cool. Boom. Getting tons of people saying, buy, buy, buy. Yes, really helpful. Makes me want to create a campaign. Already have a HEYO account. Okay, great, Ray. That's great. All right, cool. So let me tell you a little bit about what it costs to use HEYO. So here's what's included with every HEYO package, okay? So just watch my screen. I'll tell you exactly how this works. You can launch a campaign every other week. You can have access to photo and video contest templates. Remember that one-man photo contest with all the sharing he got on Twitter? That's our photo contest template. You'd have access to that. You'd have access to giveaway and sweepstakes templates. So the sweepstakes template is the one I used for Perfect Reject. Nina's very cool business. So there you go. You'd have access to those templates. Access to lead generation templates. If you want to get people to just sign up for your email list or offer a free download like a PDF, we've got great templates for that. You've got direct integration to your email service provider. It sounds like pretty much all of you, almost all of you, we directly integrate with your email provider. If not, we just store the leads for you. You can download them to Excel anytime. You can easily create mobile versions of your campaigns just by clicking a button, and that is gold. I will tell you, that is how we doubled the number of email leads we're collecting at HEYO, simply by making it mobile. You can do that in HEYO just by clicking a button. You don't have to pay freelance developers and designers anymore. You don't need to worry about problems with Facebook because we do all the due diligence on our side. I know Stephen, for instance, had some questions about, hey, in Canada we've got rules. We've got the ability for you to do everything you need to make sure you're getting good opt-in leads. You're following the law and the rules, and especially you're following Facebook's rules if you're publishing to Facebook. And of course, we back everything up with super responsive customer support. So every HEYO customer gets all of that. In addition to that, if you purchase on this webinar right now, here are some great bonuses that I am offering just for you. I'm going to feature your fan page or business in a blog post. So someone like Perfect Reject, like Nina's business, we would write a blog post about your campaign, link to your business, and our blog gets thousands and thousands of readers every single day. It's a very well-trafficked social media blog. If you don't believe me, check it out at blog.heyo.com. You'll get a personal one-on-one strategy call to help you get started in capturing new leads with HEYO with either Nathan if you're an agency or Brooks if you're a single business to ensure your success. You'll get this great white paper with 11 high-converting ideas that you can copy as a prize for your next campaign. So I actually wrote this myself. It's a very simple guide to picking the right prize for your contest. It's a question we get a lot here at HEYO. What should I give as a prize? And basically, this is how you can do it. This is how you can do it. I've got a great guide here for you with 11 ideas you can just rip off. You can just copy and take them yourself. You get access to our invite-only mastermind group. It's a closed Facebook group full of other smart marketers that are just really, really smart and are just a great resource. So the only way to get access to this is if you buy on this webinar today. I'll give you an evergreen copy of today's webinar, so you can go back and watch it and rewind it as much as you want to review these systems. Also, a free ebook called The Secret to Stunning Visual Content, written by Brooks, one of our best writers here on the HEYO team. He geeked out hardcore on this article. He talks about the rule of 3, the golden ratio, Fibonacci sequence, basically breaks down the science of what pictures are most pleasing to the human eye. And it will help you if you're a photographer like Christopher, who's on the webinar with us, or if you're a designer or a blogger. It will help you pick the right images or take the right pictures to post to social, which has become so visual nowadays. That's really important. And then finally, a last bonus. This is the 7th bonus. It's a free 30-minute video course with our CEO, Nathan, on how to discover great content that the news feed loves. The only way to get this course right now is to go to creativelive.com, which is where it was produced, and pay $79 for it. I'm going to give you that totally free. So here's just a quick rundown of all the bonuses you get if you buy on the webinar today. So here's everything you get. If you're interested in doing this, it's just a one-time payment of $300 for the full year. You go to heyo.com/buy, heyo.com/BUY if you want to grab those bonuses right now. We offer a 100% 30-day risk-free guarantee. So if you're kind of on the fence, you're like, this seems like a good idea, but I always get sucked into stuff like this. I don't know if it's going to work. It's going to work. And if it doesn't, anytime in the first 30 days, you shoot us an email to support@heyo.com. We'll give you a full refund of your $300. And it's not a problem. We stand by that wholeheartedly. So with that, everyone, go to heyo.com/buy if you're interested in purchasing this special offer. It's a full year of the system, and I've got 10 of these. 10 of these to offer to you who've joined me for the webinar. So feel free to grab one at heyo.com/buy. I'm going to be watching during Q&A, and if these fall, then if these go, then I'll just tick this down until we get down to 0. The reason we have to limit it is because we're giving away specifically the bonuses of the free blog post for your business and the one-on-one strategy call. There's a lot of costs wrapped up in that for us. So, we've gotten into trouble before where we've sold just tons of these on a webinar. We like to keep this very curated. So hope you guys will jump on board if you're so inclined. heyo.com/buy. And with that, I'm going to go straight to the GoToWebinar questions panel, and I'm going to see what questions I can answer for you. Okay, so George asks, is there any limitation on Facebook fan page site? George, I think what you're asking is, are there limitations on what fan pages you can publish to? None at all. Heyo has no limits on the number of fans you can have, the number of page visitors you can have, the number of leads you can collect. There's no limit. The only limit with this particular plan, you can have 3 of these campaigns running at the same time, maximum. That's it. That's it. Okay, Michelle says, we have a few business. Can this operate on multiple URLs? Absolutely, Michelle. With this one, you can publish to multiple fan pages. Again, you can have 3 campaigns running at the same time with this plan. Okay, cool. Can I buy this? V asks, can I buy this and use it for my clients? V, you absolutely can. I see Christina answered that for you. You can grab this for your clients and publish to their Facebook pages if you would like. That is not a problem. All right, down to 8 folks. Thanks so much to the folks who've already purchased. So just want to keep that going as I take Q&A. So we've got 8 of these bonus packages left. So yes, V, you can absolutely publish to your clients' Facebook pages. Yeah, Murray, same question. You can use this offer on multiple Facebook pages if you would like to. Okay, cool. A great question from Nina. Will you get help along the way for the year? Yes, Nina. Let me explain. You get this one-on-one call to help you get started. It could be a demo. It could be just giving you some tips and strategy for how to build your first campaign. And that is absolutely there for you to take advantage of. Throughout the year, we provide excellent customer care, mostly by email, but it's the same people that are giving you those strategy calls. It's Brooks, it's me, it's other members of the Heyo team that work customer care here at Heyo. Whether you've got technical support you need or whether you've got some strategy advice you need, we're here for you. We give a lot of help through customer care. Joseph asks a great question, He says, to get such great results, would one need to first have a lot of Facebook followers? So you don't have to have a ton, Joseph. It does help to have a few. So here are some thoughts for you and everybody else. You will be successful with Heyo if your fan page already has a few likes. I would say a few hundred. For instance, Nina, I saw on her fan page, I think had like 600 or 700 fans. That's plenty of fans to get started with. If you want to build your email list, if your status updates already get a few likes, comments, or shares, generally this works really well for you. So Joseph, you don't have to have a ton of leads, and it's success is relative, right? I would say that, for instance, our sweepstakes campaign or our giveaway campaign template, those convert at like generally 20% and higher. So the results you saw, 20%, 30%, etc., those are very typical for that type of campaign. Okay, cool. Let me just check one more time and see how many of these bonus packages are left. Okay, all right. We are down to 5. So very cool. Glad you guys are finding value here. We are down. We've got 5 of these left. So we've got a lot of great questions here. Okay, cool. Alpana asks, am I able to promote these campaigns on Facebook? Currently, my posts have stopped showing to very many people at all. Alpana, you can absolutely promote these types of campaigns on Facebook. I'll tell you, and reach is always, that's like the thing we're all chasing on Facebook. I've seen a lot of our customers have a lot of success just boosting their posts about the campaign to their fans. It's not very costly. It's a great way to ensure that you get good reach. Okay, cool. I want to see if I can say hi to a couple of folks who just joined the Heyo family. We've got Jessica here. I want to say hi to Jessica, who's purchased. Big shout out to her. Let me see if I can find Jessica. A lot of people on the webinar. It's always really tough to. I can't find. Jessica might be joining under a different name. That's okay. That is okay. Let me see if I can say hi to Matt, who has also just joined the Heyo family, taking us up on this very cool offer. All right, let me see if I can say hello to Matt. Hey, Matt R., I've unmuted you. Are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I can, Matt. How are you, man?
Doing well, thanks.
Great. Now, where are you joining from, Matt?
Denver.
Beautiful Denver, the Mile High City.
Exactly.
So, Matt, tell me, what did you think of the content on today's webinar, and why did you decide to go ahead and grab this offer today?
Yeah, the content was fantastic. I'm working on building an email list for a new company that I'm launching later this month, and
okay, cool.
want to use. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what kind of company is that?
A coloring book delivery company.
Wow.
Subscription box.
Okay, cool. Very cool. So you're looking to build an email list for that new venture, and this content then was hopefully very helpful for you.
Yeah, it was great.
Awesome, fantastic. And so thrilled that you joined the Heyo family. What made you decide to go ahead and grab this offer we're making today on the webinar?
It just looked like a great way to start building the email list. I've watched some of your webinars in the past and was tempted to buy, and finally decided to take the plunge because I feel like it will be a good way to start generating some more interest in the venture. Awesome,
I love that. Well, I am thrilled that we finally got you, Matt, and I think you're going to really love the Heyo platform. It is very easy to use. We've got thousands of other customers using it as well. And of course, if you've got questions, you're going to have that great strategy call to help you get started, and we're always here for you. So we're thrilled to have you on board, man, and hope we can help you get started with this new business.
Great, thanks a lot.
Yeah, you're very, very welcome. All right, I'm going to go right back to questions. Go ahead if you've got questions, whether it's about Heyo or this offer or Facebook marketing in general, go ahead and pop them right into the GoToWebinar questions. I've got Christina sitting right here behind me just pounding away at her little MacBook Air. I'm afraid she might snap it in half because I know she's doing a great job answering all your questions. So give her a shout out, guys. If you're, give her a little round of silent applause wherever you are. I know she's doing a great job. Okay, so let me just see if I can field a few more questions here. Tanya says, so is this probably not as good for a brand new startup? So here's what I would say for everybody who's got questions about, whether this is right for your business or not. If you've got, and we're down to 2, guys. We're down to 2. If you have some kind of audience to get started with, this is a great, great thing to do. It's a great thing to do. If you, for instance, have a few hundred Facebook fans, if you've got a blog with a few hundred people who subscribe to that blog, and maybe you've got a couple of hundred or more visitors every week, if you've got a really strong Twitter following, wherever they might be, if you've got some audience somewhere to kind of help you get started with one of these campaigns, kind of help you rev the engine, if you will, then it generally works really, really well. And let me show you guys, kind of what I mean by that. Actually, I had a slide I kind of skipped earlier, but let me kind of show you. Let me go back into our system. Little sound effect for you. All right, here we go. Okay, so here's kind of why that works. You need to have an audience. Think of Paul here as your audience. Once you get Paul to enter your campaign with his email address, all of Heyo's templates have some type of sharing functionality to them. So Paul is going to enter, and he's going to share it. Let's say he's got 500 friends on Facebook and Twitter combined. He's going to share it to his friends and followers, And let's say just 5 of them decide to enter as well, right? And they all share it, and they've all got about 500 friends, and each of them brings in 5 friends. This is what virality is, social media virality, right? So a viral campaign is one that does this, where if people are entering it, they're sharing it. So you don't need to have thousands and thousands of fans or leads. It does absolutely help to have at least a few to like kind of get started with, because you got to help get this snowball moving. So you want to make sure you have some audience. Okay, so that's what I would say. That's what I would say. All right, cool. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm not even going to look at the counter yet. I'm just going to like, if you're in the process of checking out, go ahead and finish checking out. I don't know if we have any left. I'll look in a second. So let me go back. Let me get back to some questions though. Okay. Okay, great question. So Daniela asks a question. What is the best way to get permission to contact people while collecting emails in your contest template? Okay, so everybody who's on the webinar, take a look at my screen. I'm going to show Daniela exactly how to do that. Okay, so here I'm back into the Perfect Reject campaign. So this is Nina's business, right? And you can see I've got this little opt-in form on the left. So for the, probably the half of you that aren't watching my screen, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So make sure you go to webinar backup so you can see my screen. So I'm going to click on this little entry form here, Daniela. And over here on the right, once I select my lead destination, the next step is I can customize my form. So there are 2 ways you can kind of make sure that you're getting good opt-in emails. If you're comfortable just putting some terms onto this page, you can put some fine print right at the bottom of the page that says, hey, by opting in for this, entering this contest, you'll also be joining my email list. But if you want to be more explicit like that, which many people do, right here I can say, okay, instead of a text field, I'm going to add a checkbox, click plus, and I can say right here, I can edit the text box description, and I can say, yes, I would like to receive other info about Perfect Reject. And there you go, and that added a little checkbox to my form so that anybody who enters can also either choose to check it, or if you want, let me go back to here, I can have that selected as a default. So now I can choose to, if I enter your contest, I can choose to opt out. So that's a great way to ensure you're getting good opt-in leads on your list, Daniela. A great question. A great question. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, I am going to go ahead and check. Let's see how we're doing. Okay. We are down to, I'm not making this up, guys. I am checking. All right. We're down to 1. We've had 9 people take me up on it. Awesome, awesome to have you guys join the HEYO family. I'm going to see if I can say hello, maybe to one or 2 other folks. As you guys type in a few more questions, it looks like either Christina or I have gotten to all of your questions. So I will go ahead and let me see if I can say hi to 1 or 2 more people who've joined the HEYO family. I'm going to see if I can say hi to Tanya, who has joined, and see if I can say hello to her. Tanya, this is Chris. I've unmuted you. Are you there?
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Tanya, can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Hey, Tanya, where are you joining from?
From Minneapolis.
Awesome. I love Minneapolis, a beautiful city. Well, so tell me, Tanya, what did you think of the content today, and why did you decide to go ahead and grab this bonus offer?
Well, the content was laid out great. You did a great job in it. I love the ideas at the beginning, especially on contacting some of the competitors' writers. That was awesome.
Awesome. Good.
I ended up signing up for your product because I'm a little familiar with the technology. It looks like it was backed by Leisure, which was something that came out years ago, but was kind of clunky when it first came out. And I've tested other products. The way you guys have this structured looks just so easy to implement within minutes. I think it's going to be a huge help, not only for me as my own startup, but for those clients bringing on board.
Awesome. Well, Tanya, I'm thrilled to hear that. And we definitely, I head up product here at Heyo, and we definitely put a lot of thought and effort into making it as user-friendly and easy as possible. And so I think you'll really be happy. I'm thrilled with that. And congrats on signing up, and welcome to the Heyo family.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I'm going to check one more time for questions, guys, and all the diehards that are on. Okay, cool. Okay, good. Again, Christina is answering most of the questions, doing all of my hard work for me. All right, so with that, I also want to check in with our Heyo Notes contest. So let me just see if I can pull up and see, has anyone tweeted their notes to me at hashtag Heyo Notes? Let's take a look, Christina. All right, guys. Let's see. Okay, very, very cool. All right, let's see. We've got Leanne here with her Dr. Pepper, and is that some water? Leanne, you've got you're hydrating hardcore with your notes. I love it. Paul went for the I don't know what you'd call that, very cool. Very cool handwritten notes from Paul, and in big, bold, capital letters, Heyo is amazing, and a smiley double exclamation point. Paul, impressive. We got a nice little some cute little emoticons here, emojis from Glenn. Anne Marie, Annie Crafty says, loving these, hashtag Heyo Notes. Looks like she's got some help with her notes here, this little army guy, very cute. Okay, I love it. I love it. Well, Christina, do you want to pick one of these for a winner? What do you think? Okay, all right, folks, you all did a great job. Christina has spoken. Anne Marie, you are the winner of the hashtag Heyo Notes contest. So if you would tweet to @Heyo, tweet us your email address or direct message us so that we can get your address offline and send you that free t-shirt. Anne Marie, congratulations. We'll try to reach out to you as well. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so if you've got any other questions for me, go ahead and pop them into the GoToWebinar questions now. I have a feeling we're out of bonus packages. I'm just going to take a look. Yep. So we had the last one go. That said, everyone, if you are in the process of checking out now, I will honor that. I don't want you to feel stressed or rushed or disappointed. So if you're in the process of checking out, go ahead and finish checking out. But we are all out of those bonus offers, which is great, and so psyched to have you guys all joining the Heyo family. So very, very cool. So one other thing I wanted to share with you guys who are here joining me on the webinar, and if you'll check out my screen, I mentioned right up front that we just launched a podcast, and I'm going to show you that. Let's see, where did my slides go? There we go. We just launched a podcast called The Top Entrepreneurs in Money, Marketing, Business, and Life. It's hosted by our CEO, Nathan Latka. We wanted to give the podcast a big shout out. It was just rated by Inc. as the #1 podcast for entrepreneurs, honestly ahead of some pretty big name podcasts. We just launched it 90 days ago, and we are on pace to have 1 million downloads by Thanksgiving, basically, by the end of November. So we are really excited about that. He has interviewed some pretty awesome guests already, great startup entrepreneurs, agencies. He's interviewed some folks who have really successful lifestyle businesses, content businesses. He's interviewed really successful entrepreneurs that have sold their companies, like Jigsaw. He has like Peter Shankman. So definitely check it out. Go to nathanlatka.com/the-top-iTunes. nathanlatka.com/the-top-iTunes. And actually, if you look at my screen right now, I'll kind of show you. There we go. So if I just go to nathanlatka.com/the-top-iTunes, let's see what I find. Cool, boom. That takes me straight to the podcast on iTunes. And you can see it's a daily podcast. We're on episode 95, so it's been almost exactly 3 months since we launched the podcast. which was, I believe, back in, it was the very, very end of July, the 31st of July. So we're really excited about it. Please, please, please check it out. We'd love to hear your thoughts. It has been really exciting. So with that, I want to thank all of you who've joined the webinar today. It's been fantastic having you guys on board. One last thing I'll ask in the GoToWebinar questions. For those of you that are on right now that were interested in buying but either had some questions or maybe you had a hard time checking out, maybe you got an error message or you have a bad internet connection, I want to still honor the bonuses for you. Go ahead and right now in the GoToWebinar questions, if you shoot me your phone number, I will give you a personal phone call to answer whatever questions you have and help you get checked out. So if you need some extra help, go ahead and shoot them over to shoot me your phone number in the GoToWebinar questions. A couple other follow-up questions from you guys. Tanya says, thanks again. This was awesome. Thank you, Tanya. Anne-Marie says, how long are the episodes? Anne-Marie, the podcast episodes are just 20 minutes. It's a 20-minute podcast. It's 7 days a week, though. It's every single day. So check it out. I definitely recommend subscribing and just kind of giving it a listen and seeing what you think. Would love to hear your input on that. So Lethan, I see your phone number. I'll definitely give you a call after the webinar. Anybody else, if you've got any questions or any concerns at all, or you have a hard time checking out, go ahead and pop your phone number into GoToWebinar questions right now. You can also email me at Chris, CHRIS, @heyo.com. Chris at HEYO.com. So everyone, again, I want to thank you so much for joining me on today's webinar. It's been awesome spending this time with you guys today. Holy cow, it's been over an hour. The time has flown by. I want to welcome everybody who has joined the Heyo family today and taken us up on this special offer. It's great to have you on board, and that includes Karen, Nuruddin, Tanya, Len, Mike, Nina, Matt, Telvin, Chris, Jessica. It's awesome having you guys on. And as a member of the Heyo family, we're really excited. We'll get those bonuses out to you by this evening. And again, thanks for joining me. And guys, we will see you next time. So long.